Hello, my name's Duncan and welcome to Back Away from Donkey and Bath Books. My easing back into BookTube, I thought I would do a tag. So I said this week's going to be simpler videos. But yeah, I thought I'd do a tag. And this tag was originally done by Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic. But I actually found it on Roy's channel, Roy Reads Anything. But I will link to both those channels below, so you can go and have a look at their videos, which are really, really good. I said nobody tagged me because, hey, because I wasn't, but that's fine. But I thought this was quite an interesting one. I thought it'd be quite a nice one to come back to. So I've printed off the list of questions because that's the sort of person I am. And it's called the Favourite People tag. And that's favourite with O-U-R-I-T because Gareth is British and he can spell. Sorry. So, there is 8 questions to this, so it should be quite a quick go through, and I've written down a few notes just to remind me. So your favourite author. Favourite author is a bit like a lot of other favourite things. You know, ask me my favourite film, it actually probably wouldn't change that much. But yeah, it could change overall very quickly. But if I think long-term authors I come back to, and authors that have always shaped me, there is 2 that come to mind. And one is Isaac Asimov, because I read his stuff from an early age and I still read his stuff now. The great Asimov as a writer was, I think, unparalleled. And Philip K. Dick. And Philip K. Dick I started reading after I saw Blade Runner in 1980, or was it 1981? I remember now. And I started reading, and I've been reading him ever since. And I think I've read most of the stuff, including his non-science fiction stuff. And I think he's a master of total off-kilter science fiction. So yes, those 2 authors would be down as my favourite. And I said Asimov, I'm actually slowly now working through a lot of his non-fiction stuff, which I've been slowly picking up. So that's question 1 done. Question 2, name your favourite comedy actor or comedian. I had a bit of a think about this on what was there any British ones I wanted to do, but it always comes back to Steve Martin. I love Steve Martin. Any man who can play the banjo with Kermit the Frog is fine by me. But yeah, Steve Martin, his films, his like LA Story is one of my favourite films, so I love that. Roseanne, basically a load of the films he did in the 80s, 90s. Man with 2 brains. And if you saw my Poetry Thursday video a few months ago, I will put the link up there actually, when I linked to the famous poet, the famous one-armed British poet. But yes, Steve Martin probably comes sort of up there as one of my top favourite sort of comedy actors. Either that or Robin Williams. Number 3 was your favourite dramatic actor or actress. I had 2 down here. Tom Hanks, because I think he's just, the amount of stuff he's done and the amount of different sort of character roles he's played has been quite extraordinary. And I love most of the stuff he's in. But going for a character actor, I was thinking Ed Harris. If you don't know Ed Harris, he was in The Right Stuff, The Truman Show. He's the man that's controlling everything in The Truman Show. And one of my favourite films is Night Riders, which is George Romero's non-horror film, which is about a bunch of people pretending to be knights on motorbikes going around to all these fairs and that. And that is a really incredible film if you ever get a chance to see it. So Ed Harris, look out his films. He said he's a film and you'll know him, and he's just such a great actor. Oh, The Abyss. James Cameron's The Abyss. He is the main man in that, across from Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Is that how you pronounce the surname? And he's really good in that as well. So, next question. Name your favourite political figure, past or present. I'm going to abstain for this because I'm of the opinion that anybody who wants to be a politician should not be allowed to be a politician, because anybody who wants that sort of power, there is something seriously wrong with them. So yes, I'm abstaining from that. Question 5. Name your favourite film, writer or director. Well, I've got 2 down for this. I've got Ridley Scott, who's visually, his films are all beautiful. and even his bad films always look really, really gorgeous. He's done such a wide variety. He's pushed genres, and I've not seen Napoleon yet, I must admit, but I'm looking forward to seeing that, because no matter what, it's going to be good. And the second director is Peter Weir. Now, if you don't know Peter Weir is an Australian director. His first film was called The Cars 8 Paris, which I saw on a BBC Two in the UK. It used to have a thing called Moviedrome on Sunday nights, and it used to play obscure and less well-known films, and it was introduced by a film critic and director. It started off with Alex Cox, and then went on to Mark Cousins, who presented it, and that's where I first saw. It was a great segment, actually, and it introduced me to lots of films, and that's where I saw Cars 8 Paris, which is like a town in Australia getting terrorised by these cars. And then he went on to do Picnic at Hanging Rock, which I think I saw in Moviedrome as well, first time I saw it. But then one of my favourite all-time films is Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, the one with Russell Crowe, which is a stunning, stunning film. Trying to think what other films he's done. I think I wrote them down. Truman Show. I mentioned the Truman Show earlier with Ed Harris. Did the Truman Show, so he's done a really wide variety of stuff. And as a director of films I'd watch, Peter Weir's way up there. I don't think he's made anything quite a while, but he must be in his 80s by now. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's just permanently retired. So, next question. Your favourite new discovery. So I'm going to go on books for this, because we're technically a book channel. Over the past year or so, I discovered Wilson Tucker. His book, Long Loud Silence is stunning, as is anything else he's done. So you need to read some Wilson Tucker. So I will probably put a link up to one of my reviews up there when I talked about him. And the other one is Nathaniel Hawthorne, who apparently is one of these great American authors that I'd never really heard of, weirdly. Victorian, I think he was 1800s, and he wrote loads of short stories. The reason I got into him is I had a film with the wonderful Vincent Price in, which was a collection of stories told from some of Nathaniel Hawthorne's work. Twice Told Tales, the film is. And so I went to investigate, and I started reading some of his short stories. I'm really, really enjoying them. So I may do a video on that in the future. So Nathaniel Hawthorne, probably all you Americans are shouting at me, you should know him, he's a classic American writer. Sorry, I didn't know him. Now the next one. Name a favourite musician or singer. It's quite difficult for me, because my musical tastes go from film soundtracks, classical stuff, to extreme heavy metal. And I've seen millions of bands, loads of bands in my time. So if you want, like, as far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest film composers, obviously John Williams and Vangelis. But then if you go for bands I've seen that I follow, Fish is one of my favourite singers all time, because I saw Marillion many times when they're in their prime with him and singing, and I've seen him solo. Even bands like Metallica, who I saw on the original Master of Puppets tour. Sepultura, who I saw on their first visit to the UK in the Marquee Club, which I remember. And then I'm trying to think of other bands I've loved. Then you go down to folk bands. One of my discoveries is a band called Crooked Still, who are an American sort of bluegrassy band. So it's very difficult for me to say what is my favourite musician. There's lots that I respect, lots I listen to. Johnny Cash. Who doesn't love a good bit of Johnny Cash? His American Recordings album, which was produced by Rick Rubin, who produced Slayer, is a fantastic one. I saw him at Glastonbury years ago when he played there. Trying to think who else. David Bowie. Yeah. I like music, okay. Classical, I like some choral music. Like soundtrack, but yeah. So yeah, take your pick from those, because there's not really a single one. In question 8, which is the final question, name your favourite inspirational person. And now this is going to sound sickly sweet, but it's my wife. Okay, Rosie, my wife, has a disability, and she's also long-term ill, and goes through more things in a day, pain-wise and challenge-wise, than I can possibly imagine, and has throughout most of her adult life. And she just inspires me to do that. And the worst thing you can ever do is call her brave, because as she says, she's not brave, she just has to deal with what's there. So that's not bravery. Running into a fire to rescue a child is bravery, as she says. She just has to, she has no choice. But yeah, but she inspires me every day. You know, what she does, and the fact that she's just, maybe I'm biased, but however she does it. But yeah, my inspirational person. So that's it. I'm not going to tag anybody, because I think most people have done this as far as I can work out since I've been having my little bit of a break. And that's it, really. I will put the links down below, and I will see you later in the week for another video. And watch out for Giant April that starts the 1st of April. And I've got some stuff I'm sorting for that, as obviously Roy is, and Annie. I will speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.